Hello friends, welcome to HTML video tutorial series. In this video tutorial, I am going to discuss HTML5 web forms. We are going to discuss what are the new web form controls are present in HTML5. HTML4 web forms were having basic controls and attributes like text field, password field, radio button, checkbox, text area, push button, etc. HTML4 web forms were not more user friendly. Any validation need to be done, then we have to use scripting to perform validations. But HTML5 adds new web forms controls to get more specific and variety of data, not just basic text or true false values. We can get inputs like telephone number, email ID, URL, date, time, color, etc. HTML5 adds new attributes to design more user-friendly forms like autofocus, autocomplete, placeholder attributes. It provides the facility to perform validations easily by using required attribute. Let's have a demonstration so that we can get more information on web forms. First of all, I create an HTML file. I go to start, type here notepad. I click on notepad. You can see we have notepad open, and then I write here typical HTML5 structure. Less than exclamation mark, doc type HTML, then opening HTML tag with the attribute lang equal to en, then closing HTML tag. In between HTML tags, I am going to use opening head, closing head tag, opening body tag, and closing body tag. In between the head section, I am going to write meta char set equal to UTF-8, close. Then I set the title HTML5 forms demo, closing title. I save the file, save as. I save the file at the desktop with the name HTML5 forms demo.html. Both sides I put double quotation and save the file at desktop. Simple. You can see that the file got created. I right click on it, open with the Google Chrome. You can see that HTML5 forms demo.html page got open, and here I made a mistake. I'm going to remove that. File, save, go to browser and refresh. Okay, now the code is correct. Now we are going to create a form. First of all, I am going to use a div tag, opening div and closing div to enclose our form. Here it is going to have a style. First thing, I set the width of 500 pixel and I set the height. Let me set 1000 pixels, and then it is going to have background dash color of light gray semicolon. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that the div got created, and in between this we are going to create our form. So first of all, I am going to create the form with the name FRM entry. ID also I set FRM entry, and then action. We know that action is the page which is going to process this form, and for that I give processor.html. This file is going to process our form, and the method of posting the form I set to post method, which is secure. Closing form tag. File, save, go to browser and refresh. All is well. Let's proceed further. Inside this I am going to use field set, FIELDSET. Field set, closing FIELDSET. Field set is a sectioning element. It is used to hold set of fields. That's it. What actually it does, we understand. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that it creates a box, something like this. In between we can put different form controls. Field set is a block level and pair tag. Let me put here padding of 10 pixel semicolon. File, save, go to browser and refresh. We got the padding around, you can see. And field set has one child tag that is called as legend, LEGEND, legend. And here I am going to say, here I am going to write basic inputs, closing LEGEND, legend. If I write like that, let's see what happens. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that on the field set at the corner here, you can see that text. To create such a boxes, you need to use field set and legends. You can use other tags that we have learned, like a strong tag to display this text little bit bolder. I'm going to use strong tag. File, save, go to browser and refresh. Can see that text is little bit bold. Good. Then inside this field set we can put any HTML form controls. Later we create that. I'm going to create one more field set. Here I paste it down. This field set is going to be for advanced inputs. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that one more field set got created with the name advanced input set. Similarly, I create one more field set. This is going to be submit or reset form. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that 3 different field sets we created. And later in these field sets we are going to add our HTML forms controls. So let's proceed further. We know that basic HTML forms already we know. First of all, I am going to create a paragraph which is a block level tag. In between paragraphs, I am going to add new HTML control or old HTML control. Here I am going to use an tag called as label, and it has an attribute for. It indicates that for which control we are creating this label. For txt user name, and here I write user name closing label label. And what actually it does is displays the text username colon. Only thing is it remembers this label is for text box username that we are going to create now here. Input type equal to text, that creates a text box. We know that name double quotation id double quotation. Here the value is going to be this for value, whatever is there. Name is txt username and id is txt username. Then value for that is nothing. Close. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that in the basic inputs field set we created username label and a text box. There user can enter a text or his name. And here we have an attribute called as max length, length. Using that we can control maximum number of characters that user can enter. For example, if I write here 10, file, save, go to browser and refresh. If user tries to enter values more than 10 characters, it won't accept, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now if I try to enter more, I'm pressing 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing is happening. You can see that, right? It will not accept more than 10 characters if we set the max length property. So here we have max length property that we can use to control how many number of characters that the input text accepts from the user. Hope you guys have understood. It's quite simple. I'm going to create one more paragraph below this, and this text is going to be for txt password. So we are going to ask here from the user password. So this text type should be password. We know that, and it is meant for the text box password field. So here I am going to enter txt password, and value will be nothing, and max length property I am not going to use for this. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that we have the label and the password field which displays star instead of the text. Quite simple. We know already, we have learned these things. Only thing is we are performing in different way by using HTML5, field set, legend, new tags we are using to create forms. That's quite simple also. Next, I am going to create one more paragraph. Using that we can accept from the user the alternative values. For example, I am going to use a label. This is for getting the gender. So RDB GENDER gender. And here I am going to write GENDER gender. We are going to use radio buttons. So I am going to say here radio input. This is RDB gender. I am going to copy that and paste here RDB gender. The ID is going to be RDB gender and the value is going to be M. And here I am going to say this is going to be male. Similarly, I copy this input field and paste it down. This is another radio button. This is a RDB gender value is going to be F, and this is for female. And if I say file, save, go to browser and refresh, we get two radio buttons, and they are not checked. Both of them are not checked. So I can use the checked attribute, checked checked attribute, to make one radio button by default checked in the beginning. Refresh, you can see that the radio button is checked, and now I can select any one. Quite simple. Next, I am going to create one more paragraph in this field set to accept more than one values from the user, I am going to use here checkboxes. So here I say chk hobbies of the user I am going to get. So here we write HOBBIES hobbies. So this is going to be checkbox, and the name and ID should be whatever is there in the label for attribute. So I am pasting it here, checkbox hobbies ID, and the value for it I am going to give is P for playing, PLAYING playing, and it is by default checked, you can see. And the next one is M for listening to music, and I create one more checkbox. So I copy that, paste it down. This checkbox is going to be indicating D for drawing. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that now we have hobbies. I think we have a mistake here. I need to remove this gender. File, save, go to browser and refresh. Now we have hobbies colon playing music drawing. We have created checkbox controls which are previous web forms. I'm going to create one more paragraph below this. So opening p tag and closing p tag. This is going to have a label and it is for the txta address. We are going to get the address of user. So here I say address colon closing label label, and below that I am going to create a text area control closing text area, and it is going to have the name equal to double quotation, ID equal to double quotation, and value of the text area will be nothing at present. So I'm going to copy this text area address for and paste it in name as well as ID, and then number of rows it is going to have is 10 rows, and number of columns it is going to have is 10 columns. It is going to have wrap, WRAP wrap. I am going to set it to hard so that we can be able to get enter keys, tabs, the pre-formatting from the text area. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that we have the text area created and it's quite bigger. Let me reduce the number of rows to 5, number of columns to 50. File, save, go to browser and refresh. So that's good, and here his address he can enter in this text area. Let's add more controls. I am going to create one more paragraph, closing paragraph, and here label label for qualification. So I set SLCT qualification, and here I say QUALIFICATION qualification closing label label, and here I am going to use the tag select attribute, select tag. I hope you remember we used select, okay, closing SLECT select, and this is going to have name attribute and ID attribute. To that I am going to give this for. I copy paste it, not this one, Control C and paste it. Here also I paste it, and then it is going to have child tags which is a option tag, closing OPTION option, and the value for this is I, that indicates intern. I am going to copy this and paste it down, and this is going to be U for UG. I am going to copy this and paste it down. This is for P for PG. File, save, and by default this one I set it to selected. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that intern is selected, and we can select UG or PG, whatever we want here. And one of the thing is we can change this selection list to multiple selection by using multiple attribute. Multiple, if I say, this control allows me to select more than one inputs. By using the shift key I can select more than one selections I can make, or if you want user should select only one selection, then we can remove this multiple from here. File, save, go to browser and refresh. Now user can select only one out of 3 choice. That is how we create the selection box. All these things we have learned in the previous video tutorials. It's quite simple. Now these are the basic input controls that we have in HTML4 web forms. Now I create submit and reset buttons in the field set submit reset form. Here I am going to create input type equal to submit, 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 and name is going to be btn submit. ID is also btn submit. Value for it is submit submit. Close it. Similarly, I am going to create one more button which is going to be reset button, reset reset. This is going to be btn reset reset, btn reset reset ID, and the value for it is reset reset. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that now we have btn submit and reset buttons. If I click on submit, it goes to the processor.html page, which is not available at present. If we set anything, if we do any modifications, if I click on reset form button, you can see the form controls are reset back to the default values. Quite simple. For this tutorial, this much is enough, friends. In the next tutorial, we understand HTML5 web form controls. For more benefits and be updated, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to like, comment and share these videos with others so that everyone will get benefited. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.